We'd like to have very interesting, fireside chat between Ramya ji and Dr. Durga.
I don't think a thank you would be enough, Mrs. Ramya Krishna. I think it's so encouraging for all of us. I'm honored. A strong woman, and even the characters that you play, I'm sure, is a reflection of your own personality, and that comes across as being somebody who's very confident.
Usually very confident in front of the camera.
Everybody who has made it this far with us and helped in bringing this organization to where it is.
మమ్మీ పాప అవ్వాలంటే ఓఎస్ఎస్ రండి అన్నారు. యూజువల్ గా ఇంతకు ముందు మమ్మీ పాప అవ్వాలంటే పెళ్లి చేసుకోవాలి. Marriage and kids felt natural then. IVF has become so common today. The taboo around it. Why has it become so common and the taboo around it?
So I think, previously whenever we are talking about our older generations, like even in our own families, when we are really looking at our grandparents or even our parents, the quality of life that they had, in terms of having a balanced sleep, having a balanced diet, the right amount of exercise, I don't think they were surrounded by as much luxuries as we have. I'm very glad we have glass bottles here, but otherwise you would see everybody carrying plastic water, everything. And the smoke, the plastics do have an impact on that. And have an impact. So all of these basically come under the category of estrogen deriving chemicals. So these are the things which do pollute the atmosphere around us and, impact our gametes. As you know, sperm and eggs are very, very sensitive. Any kind of impact on the wrong can actually have great deal of effect in terms of fertility. So what's very alarming is that the fertility rate is coming down drastically. Particularly if we are talking about Telangana, where we are at the moment. For a community, for a society to actually develop and economically grow, you need to have at least a fertility rate of 2.1. And currently, most of the states in India, not just Telangana, most of the states in India are coming down to 1.8 and 1.9. Unless we do something about it, we're going to be reaching, the state that countries like Japan is having, wherein most of their communities, everybody is more geriatric. They have a huge aging population, and the youngsters who are supposed to drive the economy are less. So they are inviting others to come and, emigrate to Japan to get their economy going. And we shouldn't be reaching there.
My question was, why is Japan then?
Nowadays, as you know, the generations, people don't want to marry. Even if they marry, they're pretty comfortable having just that relationship rather than furthering and building families. So all of this is making an impact in terms of the whole fabric of the society. I would like to see what your son is going to be doing. You have one son.
Yes.
You stopped with one.
Yeah, see? And I know many of age group have stopped with one, and the youngsters I meet don't even want to have no commitments, no responsibilities, and no children. So population and economy has an impact, then I'm worried.
Yes.
But otherwise, I'm happy that the population will at least come down.
But then the way it is coming down, I think that's going to impact it in the next generations to come.
Yeah. My next question. Is there a scientific reason or a new trend? Have we spoken about it or yet?
As in, you're talking about, is there any science behind why fertility is increasing? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, infertility.
I think yes, in terms of, again, how much of we tend to have a lot of conditions which are getting more common. Again, it could be because of the lifestyle. You might have heard of PCOD, endometriosis, fibroids, and I think male factor is increasing a lot more than what it was when we were starting out in terms of our careers. With all of these conditions that are rising, it is making an impact in terms of the number of people that are needing the treatments of fertility.
Do you think the cell phone radiation has an impact? Because I was told so.
In the sense, we still don't have concrete data on it, Mrs. Ramya Krishna, but yes, that is one of the things that we say. But we definitely tell the men not to keep their cell phones in their pockets, no laptops and things like that. So there are certain things that they have to imbibe in their own life, hopefully not get them here.
Sleep, for that matter.
Definitely. I mean,
because I can see my son, getting him to sleep on time is a tough job for me. I think it's a issue with the generation.
Absolutely. So, when we're talking about fertility, the basis is a hormonal cycle. And the hormones do get impacted with, again, all of these things. Your sleep, your diet, your exercise, the air that you're breathing, all of it affects it. So definitely.
Are IVF kids healthy and normal? Genetic.
This is where, this myth is the main reason why we wanted to get our accomplished children here today, which, and that IVF babies are not just healthy, they are thriving in whatever they are choosing to do. And, when you meet them, this technology has need for families.
True. And also when I was going through treatments, you also mentioned one which is not IVF.
IVN is a separate treatment which is not available. I mean, Oasis is the only organization in our country and the third in the world wherein this treatment is offered to couples, a specific group of people. It is not for everybody. It's a specific group of people who have PCOD who can take on this treatment called IVM, which has almost no drugs. The success rate may not be like IVF, but it is right up there, up to around 35 to 40%.
Key factors ఏమవుతూ ఉంటుంది?
The soul of Oasis is our doctors, and I've been fortunate to have a few of them with me today.
వాళ్ళు ఏంటది అంత యూనిక్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ దట్
The doctor to have that commitment. Fertility lo entante one aspect of fertility is very disturbing. Chala mandi they spend a lot of money, Mrs. Ramya Krishna, and some of them even utilize their own wealth that has been coming for generations just to go for this treatment. We cannot give them 100%. The success rate of IVF is around 45 to 50%. Because of the technology that we use, we have reached a success
70%. I heard that is.
So that how do we get there? Again, it's the commitment. So how much are these people thinking about? It's never factory setting. Individualization of the couple that is there in front of you. What is right for them? What are the medications that should be given? What is the treatment? Hand holding them through the treatment, because it's so emotionally taxing as well. The kind of empathy that the doctors shows, the kind of knowledge that they have which backs their treatment schedule.
Empathy is something which
is extremely important, and you can't teach that. That is something that they have to learn on their own. So, having the backing and the interest in knowledge, techniques, what is going on in research, all of that I think makes them very special, and Oasis is very special.
What education would you like to give, especially for the people in IT sector like me?
I'm so glad you asked this question. Mana fertility rate 1.8 until now, when it should be 2.1. And your first point is app. It is education. It is letting the people know what is affecting them. How do they reduce that effect on not just on fertility, it's just on the general health also. So fertility now is becoming a lifestyle disease as well. Other point. And there are so many factors in fertility which are also preventable. People don't know that. Then there are so many other things that we can still do. How do we do that? We have to start from the grassroots. We have to let the schools know. We have to let colleges know. We have to let companies like yours know in terms of what your lifestyle is going to have an impact in terms of building families. What are we doing currently? We are training gynecologists because they are within our circle. But we want to take more measures towards that and probably go to where policies can be made. Right now we have to reach that stage where things have to make a difference in a much more larger scale, and we hope to do something there.
I am from Bangalore. My name is Abhishek Vyas. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो इंडियन मैन है वो इनफर्टिलिटी को लेके बहुत टैबू होता है, तो वो कैसे हैंडल किया जाए सोसाइटी को प्रेशर को देखते हुए?
पहली बात तो उनको ये समझना चाहिए कि इनके जो लाइफस्टाइल है, ये जो आप स्मोकिंग करते हो, ड्रिंकिंग करते हो, बिंज ड्रिंकिंग करते हो, क्रिएशनल ड्रग्स होता है, उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या है वो आप नहीं जानते हो.
तो बेटर लाइफस्टाइल के लिए क्या इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं?
डेफिनेटली नो रिक्रिएशनल ड्रग्स, good sleep, good appetite and good diet.
Thank you for
can stress also be
Absolutely. Stress, it's how you are handling it that makes a difference, and I think that's what is more important than saying stress makes a difference. Yes, it does, but how are you handling it to enable yourself to be better?
Last question, Dr. Durga. I'm taking the liberty to ask this question. So what do you think is the right time for a couple, or maybe even as an individual, even before you are a couple, to really take some steps to improve your fertility so that you don't face problems going forward?
So I think it's very easy to sit in an armchair and start, advising couples you need to do this and that. Because things that they are considering in their life before they're having a children is obviously to have a stable job and to have a stable income so that they can give the right environment for the child to thrive in. So that is absolutely fine, and that that goalpost is always something that keeps changing. So what our suggestion is, yes, in terms of when you want to have a child, that can be sort of sorted, but what you need to know is where are you currently in your life, what is your reproductive health like. We are not asking you to have a child immediately at our behest. At least understand where your reproductive health is so that you don't reach a stage of requiring fertility treatments or donor or things like that. So we have something called as fertility preservation. Young women nowadays are coming forward to freeze their eggs, and there are quite a lot of your colleagues as well, who have frozen eggs so that they can have children later. So there's so many options, not just for women but for men as well. Understanding, and that's where the education comes in, which we were talking earlier, is understanding what are your options. Look at that. What is your reproductive health? Take precautions and reach to a stage of not coming.
I was asking you also about hitting puberty quite early.
Yeah. puberty is coming much earlier. You're right.
What is your advice to the youngsters of?
Again, youngsters of today, I think when you really look at their general health, even in my own family, we have to stop the kids from really binging on fast food, the kind of unhealthy diet. How much ever you show them pictures of maggots, and then they will still next day they will still go back and eat the same thing. So the education has to start from the parents. The parents first need to be educated as to how do you bring up your children? What is the environment? What is the food that you're giving them? What is the education that you're giving them?
Thanks, you've been a great audience.